begin the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. You stand and join me. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We begin the first agenda would be to elect a new chair. So, let the nominations begin.
I nominate Terry Burnett.
Second. Any other nominations? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor of that motion?
Roll call. Terry?
Yes.
Lance?
Yes.
Clyde?
No.
Should have won.
Didn't you second one? All right.
We're starting to not good.
We'll do the executive session at the end.
Yes, sure.
Okay, and item number 2, mileage reimbursement for commissions.
Yes, every time we have a new slate of county commissioners, we always revisit the statutory travel expenses for county commissioners, 38 subsection 51. And I think last year, the last time we voted on it, it was no, not to reimburse for mileage to meetings and public hearings. You have a copy of the statute in front of you. So whatever your pleasure is for today.
Okay. So in the past, we voted not to do so because we thought we made enough money.
That was the vote the last go around. Other than that, all the previous years since I've been here, it has been allowed.
Didn't we say $500 for people that like yourself to go to?
Normally we
No.
budget.
We haven't got anything, right?
Right now, we don't.
No, but we say 500. We put in the budget $500 in that under that item.
I don't think we budgeted anything this year in light of.
We did?
I don't think we did.
I don't think so.
Okay. all right.
Vicky may be able, if Vicky's listening, she may be able to pull that up, but I think the discussion was with COVID, we figured there would be very little traveling,
Okay.
to meetings, et cetera, and training, so I think we
I must have
flatlined
been
that.
thinking that maybe. Because I thought we had left 500 for people like yourself. Because I knew the commissioners weren't taking anything. But anyhow, nonetheless,
Whatever you'd like to do this year.
if for the pleasures of the commissioners, I still vote, if we're gonna vote on that I think I make enough for.
Hey, Tara.
Hello?
Vicky.
Hello?
Hello, Vicky.
Vicky, did we budget anything?
We budgeted $100.
$100, I'll stand
Thank
corrected.
you.
Okay.
I thought we budgeted. I thought. Thank you. Clyde, Lance?
Do we have you must have, like, prior to last year, do we have some figures on what we were spending on that before that? I mean, it must be somewhere, right?
Oh, yeah, it's probably right around 500, 600 in previous years.
So it was about 500 or 600 in previous
Yeah.
years, and
And that's when all commissioners, and that was actually going to county conventions. But honestly, I don't travel that much. I think it's more for, especially Clyde's location with the UT, and it would affect Terry more than perhaps myself or your district.
I put a couple.
Well, I thought we made a motion for the commissioners not to get any more south on that mileage. And it was voted on that we wouldn't get any.
Right.
And I was the biggest one that was mileage in my district.
Yeah.
And, but we have to cover, does that cover you and your expenses?
If I travel, they would come out of that line item.
Yeah, that comes underneath that same category?
Yes, yep.
So if we done 0, you wouldn't get any?
Well, we could always, Clyde, just, even if it were 0 this year, which it isn't, Vicky's indicated it was approved at 100, we could still, you could approve the expense, we'd just have to have the whole department not be overexpended. So, if something came up and we had to travel,
Yeah.
if you
Okay.
opted to reimburse. But this just affects the 3 commissioners, it doesn't affect me because I'm an employee. Employees can get reimbursement, so if I wanted to, I could get reimbursed.
That's another thing, when I was running, I had to keep communicating with the ethics committee, and they would, I said, now, can I charge my mileage for my campaign? And they said, absolutely. You can't exceed 45 cents per mile. And I thought we were paying 55.
It's gonna be 56. It's gonna be 56, as we always reimburse at the federal rate.
Okay, a little higher than.
So maybe an election thing is totally different than,
Yeah, I could, that was state of Maine, 45 cents.
When I was doing civil work, the state of Maine was a lot cheaper than the federal expenses.
That's what I'm pointing at.
And
Yeah.
the federal, at about 10 to 12 cents more on federal expenses than there was on the state.
Correct, that's what I thought. I just thought I'd mention it. Any more? Anybody you wanna make a motion that we not?
I just have one more question. So there's $100 in there now, right?
yes,
And
I'm
this
going.
just involves the county commissioners, correct?
Yeah, this vote just affects
Okay.
you.
So
But
my
if
point
I had to travel,
Right.
if you wanted me to go to Augusta to a hearing, I could get reimbursement because I'm covered under the personnel policy.
So my point is that if there's $100 in there, we didn't even use that last year, right?
I don't know what we expended last
Okay,
year.
so
if you could
somebody
tell.
must have how much was spent out of that $100, right?
Well, I don't know what was approved last year.
Well, I thought that Vicky just said that there was a total.
There's 100 in the current year,
Oh, there's, okay.
current
That's
year.
what I was,
Yeah.
I just wondered what the county commissioners had used from the last year.
And I don't think there was a lot of travel from the previous year either because
I
of,
didn't charge any.
because we didn't go to, there was no convention.
Oh, that's fine, you know.
This last year, we have always
We thought we made enough to,
No,
well.
no, no, I just was wondering.
Okay, all right. So do we need to make a motion to, on zero?
Well, no, I mean, the motion should be, you're going to approve reimbursement, mileage reimbursement just for the county commissioners. Vicky
wants to comment?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, in 2018, we budgeted, and years before that also, we budgeted $2,100. But in 2018 was the last year that they did not approve it, so only $380 was spent.
Okay,
And some of that was a couple of mileages for Julie for classes that she had gone to, and also a class that I had gone to with her, so.
okay. Thank you.
And currently, it's $100 in the current budget, and nothing has been expended.
So what we gotta do, we get to 500?
No, nothing. Doesn't need to change.
Okay. Make a motion, we leave it the same as it was last year?
So you
Would that be it?
Well, meaning that you're not gonna commissioners are not gonna get paid for mileage reimbursement?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct,
That's all I'm asking.
That's what we voted on last.
Yep. Okay. All right. Any other discussion on that?
Ready for a vote?
Ready for vote?
Terry?
Yes?
Lance?
There hasn't been a motion.
Oh, well, Clyde did make one, maybe you could not hear it.
Okay, thank you.
Did you make a motion, Clyde? I thought I heard you make a motion.
I made a motion that the county commissioners receive no mileage for 2021.
Okay?
Okay.
And so,
Somebody?
Yes,
Need a
me.
second.
Terry's got a second.
Okay.
Okay, now we're gonna do roll call, Vicky. Terry?
Yes?
Lance?
Yes.
Clyde?
Yes.
Unanimous, 3-0.
Okay? All right. We'll move to the clerk's report.
You should have the minutes from December 15th of 2020 for approval.
Right?
I make a motion, we approve as printed.
Do we want to, he wasn't here, so do we want him
He
to,
should just abstain.
so we won't have him sign?
Correct.
Yeah, that'll be it. All right. Make a motion, Clyde?
I make a
second that.
motion that we accept
That's right. Any discussion? All in favor of that motion?
Terry?
Yes?
Lance?
Abstain.
Yeah.
Clyde? 2-0, 1 abstention from Lance.
All right, we'll move to the treasurer's report.
You should have one payroll, 2 tip warrants, 1 UT warrant, and 1 county warrant for approval.
Want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion, we accept the warrants as signed by the commissioners.
I'll second that.
I think Glenn had a chance.
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah, okay.
Double check.
All in favor of that motion?
Terry?
Aye.
Lance?
Aye.
Clyde?
Aye.
Unanimous, 3-0.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Item number 5. I'm sure Lance hasn't had time to read this. Board of Visitors Annual Report for the Detention Center. I
Yep.
read that. I thought it looked pretty much like the last one we had.
Yeah, it is.
Same pictures or no?
I haven't seen too much of that. I think we ought to table it at this meeting till next meeting, so that we have a chance to read it and we'll see the.
I agree with that.
And I think you have a copy of an email there from one of the members who said if you have any questions after you have a chance to review that, if you'd like them to attend a meeting, some of the members would be more than happy to come in and discuss the report with you. So if upon reading that, if you'd like to have somebody come in from the board, just let me know and I'll try to get that arranged.
I would think we'd do a walkthrough to see those deficiencies. I don't know how we set that up.
I don't know, I don't think they're letting the public in at this point.
I check with that and see if they have any rules for that.
That would make sense. I mean, but I've read these for a couple of years now, and they seem to be the same kind of comments. And
You've seen these pictures they've got in this,
I have.
unreal. What some of the pictures of wiring, I can't believe it's that bad as these pictures say.
don't they have tubes, Jim, that they can stuck all those wires in so it looks like a big tube?
No.
You want to look at these pictures, Chief?
Cement wall. Yeah.
I've seen them, and I think we ought to do a tour or something before we make a judgment.
It's true.
All we can these other 2 commissioners read that. So we don't need a motion to table.
You can just make a motion to table to the next meeting if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Okay, we got a motion from Clyde, okay?
I'll second that motion, Clyde. Any further discussion on that motion? All in favor of that motion?
Terry,
Yes?
Lance,
Yes.
Clyde.
Yes.
Unanimous, 3-0.
Okay, item number 6 is paid leave benefits for part-time employees.
That's a new Maine state law that went into effect on January 1. I've given you some information that I got from the state website and from the Maine municipal website, informational. I've spoken with our attorney regarding that. In summary, there's a lot of gray area on how it's going to affect per diem employees. Most of our per diem employees, though, are our union employees, and we won't have to open that can of worms, so to speak, until we renegotiate those union contracts.
Okay.
So currently, we only have 2 employees that are non-union that this would definitely affect, both here, which would be our part-time in the commissioner's office and our part-time custodian. So we're going to go back, they will have time credited to them for paid leave, and we'll take care of that this month. So now, what I'm going to have to do is wait to hear back from our attorney to see how we incorporate that language into our personnel policy to address it.
So you're saying with the union, we don't have to worry about them because we negotiate those contracts?
That is correct. We'll have to address that and meet the state statute once we do the renegotiations of the contract. That's how it currently stands,
Yeah.
so.
So that means for every 40 hours they work, they get 1 hour of extra pay?
Paid leave. That's
Paid leave.
Paid
Paid
leave,
leave.
correct.
Is there a cap on that?
I'd have to look at the statute. I don't think there was.
Yes.
Don't hold me to that.
I believe it's 40 hours a year.
40 hours a year, okay.
Okay. Okay.
But There's a carry forward provision, that's what I thought the question was.
She's
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, it is capped, but there's a carry forward provision where that's being questioned at different levels, and they're dealing with that administratively at the state. So I don't know if there's a cap on the carry forward, that's a question I think they're trying to resolve.
Okay. But there is a cap on the other piece, which is the 40 hours a year.
40 hours, most they can earn is 40 hours a year annually. But the law says you can carry it forward, but I don't think they addressed the cap on the carry forward.
Is there any cap on the years piece either?
I don't know, I have not looked at it in depth yet.
Okay.
Right.
But you have to work 120 days in order to be eligible for the benefit.
Yeah.
That's in that policy, right?
That's the state law, that's the law, and we're gonna have to incorporate that.
Okay. Thank you. Under old business, we have sheriff's office truck for vehicle maintenance. So, and I think we have Deputy Paul here. And I just like, I had a few comments made, and you can see the letter written from Randy Gates. We changed the contract, put out a contract for bid on the maintenance on the vehicles, and instead of going with a Ford garage, I went with a private contractor, which is fine. But when they ordered the vehicles, they didn't go out to bid because they used the same contract. And I didn't know that you could do that in the same calendar year if they honored the contract. So if you just explain that, Steve, to the public, then I'll be happy.
I guess I kind of missed your question. Why we didn't go with Friday Fourth the second time?
Or any of the other companies. For the Stone Garden purchase that you just made,
Yeah,
you didn't put those out to bid.
correct.
And that's what the part I'd like to have you explain, why you didn't put it out to bid.
I checked with Julie and we decided, since we already had the pre-bid for this year, 2020, that we just go with a little bit.
We previously, Steve, I think there was one year, didn't we have a vehicle that
Yeah.
died? Or it just became, we couldn't repair it any longer?
Yep.
And the decision of the commissioners at the time was, past practice has been, if it's within the current cycle, the current fiscal year of that bid, if they can honor the original bid and they have the vehicle available, we go ahead and just go ahead and make that purchase.
That's the part I wanted about
Yeah.
that part right there. Because Julie and I just had a conversation about anything over $10,000, we have to go out by law out to bid. So then this purchase came about, and that's what caused the question. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't know if anybody else has any comments.
So the past practices, right, which is what you're saying that we went by, right?
Yeah.
That trumps the state law?
Well, first of all, I think the first discussion needs to be had, do you consider a vehicle a capital expenditure?
Yeah.
I would consider it almost a consumer.
Okay, no, I just, okay.
Yeah, but
So-
but when you read the statute, the capital pretty much is more of your brick and mortar,
Okay.
you know.
So it's around the phrase capital.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
But that's a question certainly I would think you could have posed to the auditor. Maybe just,
Maybe we ought to just leave it alone.
that's even better.
I'm fine, I just want, wonder how it works.
I'm just curious, and I wanted somebody to explain it to the public so that they would have their curiosity answered. I didn't know. And the other part about the service contract, that's not an issue. Not as far as I'm concerned. Scott's written out the fact that we're saving money by doing what we did, and I'm okay with that, unless one of you. All right? So, thank you. Unless you have anything else you'd like to share? Okay. Okay. Under miscellaneous, what do we have?
Just one, I'll have Tim talk about the Kibbe Wind Power Project, the Tower Project, excuse me, with the TIF funds that we're getting ready to wrap up, and we're gonna have a few more expenses, and I'll let Tim explain where we are with that project and what we need to do with the dispatch and what's gonna be happening this spring once the snow leaves, so.
So,
As you know, this, can you, maybe just a little brief history for new commissioner, up in the Chain of Ponds area where the Kitty Wing family is. It's taken a number of years with all the hoops we had to jump through and the environmental stuff, but we have erected a 100-foot communications tower up there. Up through that area, we've had some real dead spots up that Route 27 corridor. In that terrain, and Chief Lowell, I'm sure, can attest to that. He's been up in that area for many years. So anyways, we are getting to pretty much the end point of that. The tower is up and constructed. The communications radio equipment is up and running on that end. Now all we got to do is get it tied into dispatch, and hopefully we're going to start some preliminary work with our vendors this week to get it tied into the dispatch. And then once it's tied in there, we will be doing some radio testing. And once the testing is complete, I'm hoping by the end of this month, we can have that up online and hopefully get the radio frequencies out so all these first responders that respond up in that area, hopefully this will be a big asset to them. We have got to go back next spring once the ground thaws out again and we can access it to put some finishing touches up there as far as lightning, finish up the lightning rod grounding and some other miscellaneous stuff. Probably another 2 to 3 days work up in there on that end to get that finished up, and hopefully, I'm hoping, depending on the weather, mid-June we can have everything wrapped up there. It will be up and operational, I'm hoping, by the end of this month.
Good. Okay, anything else under miscellaneous?
Yes, this letter that I accept this letter from NOSTAF for the subsidies that they will be putting into the budget for the county.
Yes, that budget is complete.
And this letter is received to the commissioners explaining their subsidy, and I want to accept this letter to the commissioners as printed.
I haven't had any opportunity to read it.
Well, it's about the same as it has been, and they got everything broke down for us,
Yep.
the whole 9 yards, so I think it's a good job. It's the first time I've ever seen a letter like this.
No, they send it every year, Clyde.
They had one last year?
Yep,
Okay,
usually we get it, sometimes we get it early enough that it's actually included in the UT budget. It's part of your supplemental material.
But they got every town broke
Yep.
down the cost.
No, they do a very good job explaining how they,
We haven't voted on this, have we?
how they divide it up.
Have we voted on this?
No, this goes to the budget.
It's already,
All I want to do is accept this letter from
okay.
NOSTAF ambulance to the commissioner.
Okay. All right, we need a vote on that?
It's here.
It's already, actually, it's already part of the UT budget that you voted on.
Yeah.
That
That
appropriation.
amount. Okay.
Correct.
All right. Thank you. Anything else? Nothing other miscellaneous? Warrants we signed? Next thing we need to do is chat with Heidi.
Executive session.
And this isn't gonna be a weekly thing. So I need a motion to go into executive session.
I know we're going to executive session.
Second one.
Can I have we need to have the statutory site for the record.
You have to, when you go into executive session, you have to read the MRSA policy.
Yeah, it's right on the
It's
agenda.
on your agenda.
4, 5, 6A.
Okay, I move that we go into executive session, 1 MRSA, followed 6A.
Correct.
Second motion.
All right. All in favor of that motion?
Yes, Terry.
Yes.
Lance.
Yes.
Clyde.
Yes.
Unanimous, 3-0, we're in executive session.